Right in this video, I want to share something I call the Millionaire Math, and I borrowed this from a book called The Trash Man to the Cash Man by Myron Golden. You may have heard of Myron. You may not have heard of this book, though. If you haven't, I encourage you to pick it up. You can find it on Amazon. It's a very short read. It's under 100 pages, and you're going to learn a lot of valuable prosperity principles in there if you haven't already heard of it or been through it or been through similar information. It's a very simple read too. It's like third grade reading level. But anyway, I want to share this illustration with you because that Myron uses as an example in the book, because there's so many other gurus out there selling their different courses about e-com and fulfillment by Amazon and Facebook ads and YouTube ads and Instagram and TikTok and whatnot. And a lot of those gurus and their ads, they're flashing like exotic cars and lots of money and this private jets and these awesome destinations that they're at or whatever. And it kind of paints this picture that you need to be like have $1 million in the bank and make millions of dollars in order to achieve that lifestyle, which is simply not true. But also that you like, when you start making money and you start going down this journey in the affiliate marketing SEO space, it can make you feel like, oh, I'm not as good as these people because I don't have like $1 million in the bank or whatever. First off, you don't need $1 million to have that sort of lifestyle. Most of those cars and houses and jets are just like rented and leased and whatnot. So they don't own most of that stuff. So if you want to just experience that stuff, it's a lot less than you think. And I'll just show you this illustration real quick to share what I want to get across to you. So $1 million invested, like at 6% interest, produces about $5,000 per month passively. So if you had $1 million, which is what you think you might need to have that sort of lifestyle, 6% interest isn't very much interest, but if you're getting that with $1 million, that would be about $5,000 passively, just letting your money work for you. So if you could get to $5,000 per month, you can essentially live the same lifestyle as a millionaire on your way to becoming one. And while the $1 million a day or week or a month or a year may be, I won't say unrealistic, but it may take a little bit of effort to build up to. It's certainly achievable. The $5,000 is definitely achievable. $5,000 a month. We've had people do that in just a couple of months with this information, and I just wanted to share that with you because some people kind of beat themselves up and they're like, oh, I don't have like $1 million or whatever, or $30,000 a month and blah blah blah. And what you're not seeing in those screenshots from other people in these other programs is their profit margins and their ROI and the expenses and stuff. So they're not showing you how much they spend on their Facebook ads and stuff. They're just showing you what showed up in like their bank account. So with what we're doing, there's a little bit of time invested on the front end, but it's not really that much. You're gonna use your time anyway doing something, and there's not that much money invested, which is what I like to, what I pay attention to. But the ROI on that money and time invested is massive compared to the ROI for most paid traffic sources. And one thing I want to point out with this illustration is that I go to a lot of conferences and stuff, and when I go to those, I'm friends with a lot of the e-com guys and the Facebook people and the social media people, and they know a little bit about what I do, or they think they do, and they know I do like SEO and affiliate marketing, and that creates passive income. And I can't tell you how many times those people have come up to me and say like, man, they work with clients and they say, man, I really envy what you do. I'd trade it all today if I could just have like passive income and stuff. Because a lot of their money that they work for, it's very active, and whenever they stop working, it stops coming and flowing to them. So I just want to share this with you to let you know that you're closer than you think to that millionaire lifestyle, and you don't need to have like $1 million in the bank or $1 million a month or a year or whatever to achieve that, what would be the equivalent of a millionaire lifestyle, having $1 million in the bank, just sitting there earning 6% interest. That's $5,000 a month. That's only $60,000 a year. That's super achievable. And then once you get past that number and surpass 5K, you can keep compounding that number and rolling that up to where you do get up to 100K per month, which that is $1 million, over $1 million a year, and then you can continue to compound that. So these types of sites and investments and assets that I'm teaching you how to build in this training with mass page sites and affiliate marketing and SEO, these as you build them up, they're not like they're things that continue to pay you month after month. Sometimes they dip and sometimes they spike over the months and over the years and stuff, but it's not something that just like goes away and you have to rebuild every single month. Like a lot of these paid traffic courses, whenever you stop your ads or your account gets suspended or canceled or whatever, then the traffic stops, which means the money stops. And so you just got. I just want to kind of share this illustration to let you know you're closer than you think, and you don't need to make millions of dollars starting out to achieve the same lifestyle that someone that's had to work really hard to acquire $1 million and put it in the bank and let the interest do the work for you. You can get to that level of lifestyle in the short term, and then cancel out all your recurring living expenses and essential expenses and whatnot, and then once you get to that point, you've got your time, you got your freedom, and you can use the remaining monies that you have left over to build and compound your passive income empire. So hopefully that all makes sense to you, but this is a really important concept here to get, and it's not something that I've heard really taught anywhere else. And if you just kind of hold on to this thought when you're just getting started and just lock that number in your mind of like, oh, this is the number I need to aim for, like the $5,000, not the $1 million, because that's in the beginning, if you've never seen that kind of money in your account, it's such a far off number, you can easily get discouraged. So if you focus on this smaller number, it's very achievable. And the benefit of what we're doing as opposed to pay traffic and some of these other methods for making money online is that we're building passive income. All those other guys are mostly teaching active income ways for generating money. And so while their numbers may be bigger, they're actively working harder for those, and they have a lot more expenses and overhead in a lot of cases that they're not showing you, and their ROI and their margins are much smaller than what we're getting. So wanted to share that with you, and I hope that that all clicks and makes sense for you. And again, definitely recommend you check out Myron Golden's book, From the Trash Man to the Cash Man.